Under the present situation or circumstances of high uncertainty, technology driven business models, highly educated and aware buyers, and severe competition in the market, the real challenge in front of salespeople is how to increase conversion rate and make buyer take that decision in his favor. A salesperson can focus or learn these 9 points to improve the conversion rate. The first one is to qualify prospects. The salesperson has to find out in the initial stage itself whether it is a right prospect for me or for my business, and whether I will be able to deliver that value to this prospect. The second point is the salesperson has to know what are the likely objections and address them during the initial stage of discussion. That gives confidence to both sides as well as increase engagement. The third point is the salesperson must know who are going to sign the contract or who are the final decision makers in the initial stage. That also helps salesperson to decide his strategy. The fourth point is the salesperson must focus his conversation, his discussion, his communication on prospects, problem or business issue, and how his products or services or his solution is going to help prospect to address that business issue or solve his problems. The next point is the salesperson must ask upfront to buyer that when he is likely to make buying decision. That also gives him some hint on the time frame and decide the strategy accordingly. The sixth point is the salesperson must ensure that after every conversation or discussion there is a follow-up action and there is an agreement on that follow-up action. That also helps salesperson to move the customer in the right direction and know customer situation and take those corrective actions. The next point, the seventh point, is the salesperson has to know his success factors. That means what makes buyers to buy his company's products or services. And when the salesperson focuses his conversation around those success factors, that also gives significant confidence to the buyer to move forward in the buying process. The eighth point is the salesperson must shift his selling to customer buying or prospects buying and understand prospects buying process and do everything that is required, like educating the prospects, giving necessary information or training or all required documentation or information that will help the buyer to move forward in the buying process. And the ninth, the last one, is the salesperson must never over promise, and that gives a wrong signal in today's context. Rather, salesperson must focus his discussion on the business, telling buyer that in addition to his business, he is interested in building long-term relationship with him as well as his company, and that gives a clear signal to buyer that the salesperson is not only talking about this business but about long-term relationship, and that will give that confidence to the buyer to move forward towards the next step of buying. If the salesperson thinks about all these 9 aspects and decide the strategy with every individual buyer based on all these 9 factors, that will increase his conversion rate. This is my understanding about the selling and the new approach towards selling. What are your opinions and what are you doing to improve your conversion rate today? If you have any different points, please mention them in the comments. Thank you.